Chalimbalumeya la keta kere mapo kidwe or chalimbalumeya chalimbalumeya la keta kere mapo kidwe or chalimbalumeya la keta kere mapo kidwe or I want you to keep standing and salute retired Colonel Dr. KIZZA BESIGYE. I want you to hear him. Hello! Where are your phones? Pick your phones. And may you light the phone. And send him that light. He needs that light. He needs that confidence. Hello! Freedom for all. All for freedom. Thank you very much. May you take your seats, please. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you this morning to Katonga, the headquarters of freedom fighters. Our DNA is freedom, and our goal is freedom. So freedom for all. All for freedom. We are here to define for ourselves what we must do with this period of campaigns, 2026. And also to understand how this period fits into the long-term objective of why we set up party. This election is only a footnote to the journey for freedom. And I want to thank all of you for choosing to be at the front line, to be the freedom fighters that Uganda so badly needs all over the country. We go into these elections defined as poisonous. That means we are not wanted. And that is coming from none other than the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. This country is not safe. If that can be a statement by a Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, that already defines our responsibility to this country. We go into this election when the Electoral Commission has not presented this country with the right environment to have free and fair elections. But as freedom fighters, we will go to these elections. We have had we have had nominations now for almost all the elected positions except the Member of Parliament. And therefore, we believe we should communicate to the country what we are going to do with these elections. We want to be heard loud and long, what we stand for and what we bring into this politics. As the leader has already indicated to you, we have not presented a presidential candidate. Not because we are short of them. No. But we didn't want to be an obstacle to finding a unifying candidate that we would be supporting in this election. Because this election is a do or die. It's a do or die for the country, not for the people only, but for the entire country. Because so much is at stake. So we are here to tell you that we are presenting every other position except that. But we will be supporting a presidential candidate who will carry our message and who will carry our mission as we work ourselves to be there. We already have an MOU with the Alliance for National Transformation. We have informed the country that we do have that memorandum of understanding. But we are also in deep discussions with the National Unity Platform. The discussions may not have gone previously as we had wanted, but we continue to pursue them. And we believe that we will, at the end of the election, support a candidate that will provide an opportunity for us to have the change that we so badly need. Politics is about organizing society. And so we have chosen in our constitution that we are going to reorganize this country. And that's why it was a big pleasure for us this morning introducing ourselves with our identities. I want to remind you that what we are offering to this country is a new agenda for freedom and the use of our resources. Our biggest problem is the use of our resources. And so, when you look at our constitution, we have decided that we will go back to the entities that negotiated for independence in 1962. And these entities are the regions in which we have been able to introduce ourselves in. Each of the regions is well endowed, and we want to leverage our leadership and our resource sharing as a country in those regions. Karamoja, the land of minerals, will have an opportunity in our government and in our government system to remain with their gold, to remain with their marble, to remain with all the natural resources available in Karamoja. Today, those resources are labeled as Simba cement, Kampala cement, Tororo cement, but no Karamoja cement. And yet, that resource is made in Karamoja. The people of Karamoja have been cheated, made paupers, defined only by cattle rustling. We want to give them back their dignity, to own their resources, and use those resources to turn around their region. We are asking the people of Karamoja that their future lies with us at the People's Front for Freedom. The people of Kabale, Kigezi, your iron ore is your wealth. in addition to the others. But let me talk about just that natural resource, the iron ore. I think it has been concessioned or given out to President Ruto. It isn't yours anymore. That resource now cannot benefit the people of KIZZA. It has been shared in the big meetings of East African community. Others are simply transporters. Others are brokers. But that resource needs to be used by the people of KIZZA to give us the next generation of the people of KIZZA that are going to power this country. Buganda. For a long time, Buganda has been told to shut up. To be a Muganda has become a problem for Uganda, and yet that's where we get our name, Uganda. And so we want to give back the dignity of Buganda to Buganda, so that you can manage your human resource, that you can manage your resources. You can even manage the capital. The people of Buganda should not be made to apologize for who they are. You have been forced to apologize for who you are. We in PFF are saying no. We all belong, and let us be rich, let us celebrate and use our heritage like everybody has to develop their country. We, the people of Busoga, we have powered this country since 1954. For now, the river gives you 3 dams, and yet we remain in darkness. We are saying to the people of Busoga that, listen, we own the biggest resource of this country, and therefore we must take share of it. We don't want to be defined by poverty. We are not poor. We have the human resource, we have the natural resource, and we have the future to make out of these resources. Actually, nobody wants to talk about your oil. You are defined by war. No. The people of Acholi, you own the biggest reserves of oil, and this oil you must partake. And so we welcome you to the People's Front for Freedom, because this election is about how you will manage your resources 2026 and beyond. We are redefining the politics of this country, the organization of this country, and we want you to be part of it. You face the most serious threat because of your land. And we are all aware, in this leadership of the People's Front for Freedom, your biggest resource now is your land. For many of you who haven't been there, I will define it as the prairies. If you remember your geography, actually is the prairies of this country. Big chunks of land being threatened by cattle keepers, defined as Balad. That land of Acholi must be defended. And we, the People's Front for Freedom, are inviting you to join us to defend your land, to defend your dignity, to defend who you are. Now is the beauty of this nation. We share Lake Choga with them. And I know that the best human resource resides in Lamu. But you have also been condemned and defined by the past. We want to break that past. We want you to join us so that we define a new Lamu for you with us. Bunyoro, the land of Kabalega. now defined as the oil place. There is more in Bunyoro than the oil. You are also victims of the oil curse, which will soon visit you if we do not do what we must do in this election to redefine what Bunyoro is and whose resource the oil is. Bugis, the red coffee bean, Arabic. Tukakomeo. You need to own your mountain. What is left of you now is Kadodi. It's your biggest export. We are inviting you to the People's Front for Freedom to be part of the new Uganda that we want to build on the basis of who we are, who we were, and who we shall be always. Teso. Teso is the land of many things, but largely the land of civilization. The land of civilization, that beauty. There are so many scars in Teso, very many scars. Those scars can only be erased by PFF. We come with clean hands, with a clean heart. And we invite you, Teso, to join the People's Front for Freedom, to define a Uganda. Not a Uganda where everything comes to Kampala, eaten by Kampala, leaving everybody in utter poverty. I am sure you've been treated to the many sins of people carrying food. If a country is food insecure, how can it develop anyway? That the independence ground in Kololo has been reduced to a food market of rotten food. That food you saw being taken away was rotten, and it couldn't be eaten by the VIPs, so they left it as scavengers of this nation. That can't be our future. No. And so we're inviting you all. Uncle, don't be defined by dictatorship. You're better than that. Don't be defined by militarism, by Nkoni. Ankole for Nkoni. No, please don't. We know that Ankole is better than what we see on the streets. What defines you now is terror. We are inviting you to change that through PFF. Because the terror you are meting out to an entire nation, we can't take it. We don't want you to be defined by that. Please join the People's Front for Freedom so that we can free each individual, each household, each community, and the entire country. Toro. I haven't seen Umtati. Are you here? We are saying to the people of Toro that you are too beautiful. You define dignity. You define honor. We welcome you to the People's Front for Freedom. Be part of the political menu that will be presented to this country as the new future. Getting to Toro, you'll be lucky to arrive in one piece. The road is so ugly. I keep wondering how they give their vote to the same party that has made them poor. Toro, we are inviting you to free yourselves. Join us And so that we, as a people of Uganda, can live as citizens. Because right now we are not citizens. We are not citizens. At best, we are voters, voting machines. In this election, we would like you to carry the message of citizenship and citizenry, because it is under threat. What you see in NIRA, you can no longer tell a Ugandan who is a Ugandan by birth, who is a Ugandan by descent, because the Constitution gives different rights to all those categorizations. We would like to get back our citizenship. Because that's all we have. And we will define who we are by the regions we come from, because we are not a refugee camp. It's only a refugee camp where people refuse to be who they are. They are numbers. We are not numbers. We are people, Salam Proscovia, made in Namwendwa. A proud Musoga, like all of you. The freedom agenda, of which I'm giving just an outline, will be published when we are all nominated and we are the full team. The full team of freedom fighters for the cause of Uganda. It is so sad for us that our leader is now 8 months in prison. Well, I know I'm on that charge sheet and I'm waiting, happily waiting to be taken in together with Lord Mayor Lukwago and Nganda, because the three of us have been mentioned. But even when we are taken, you must continue to fight for freedom, because it is only this fight that will release all of us from strongholds. People kidnapped. Surely, if it was a pregnancy, we would be 1 month almost due. Can you imagine being arraigned in Luzira for the due term of a baby? And why? Let this baby be freedom. For the time that Dr. BESIGYE and Lutale Obed have been in prison. If we do not do what we must do, and I'm happy that we are all ready to do what we must do, this entire country is such a huge prison. It is such a huge prison that we must do a prison break. Tomorrow, as we know, the new business of the state is kidnapping young people, resourceful people. It is the People's Front for Freedom that must free the young generation of this country, the youth of this country, from kidnap. And so we are counting on all of you to join the People's Front for Freedom, to give legs, to give eyes, to give hands to the freedom agenda. Your presence here this morning is a confirmation that you are ready, you're set to go. Thank you very much. Freedom for all! All for freedom! PFF! Freedom Party! Where are your lights? Where are your lights? Hello! Light the world, hello! Light the world, hello! Thank you very much.
Please, the lights again as you clap for Honorable Salaamu Musumba.